Hi, gang. Welcome. I'm too lazy to finish with the preamble. Let us do some paintings today. Hopefully, you can hear me. Avid, Big Meat, welcome. Schmoove it. Salute. Welcome all. Glad you guys are here. All right. I'm just pulling up the characters I started from last week, last week, and we're just gonna fool around with these things. Something to do. Don't know if I'll do some more. I kind of liked. I was having fun doing some thumbnails. Let's see if I still got something in me. Let me see audio. I think we're doing good with the audio. Get the mic all up in here. It's not too loud, I hope. I like for you guys to be able to hear me, but at the same time, I know I can. I get shouty sometimes, little excited. It's just my way. Don't blame me. All right. Drawy. Racer. What's next? We've hit some pretty good cyberpunk archetypes. You like it when I get excited, Avid? Do you? Oh my god. Dirty birdies. Alright. We got a cyber sam or a street samurai. We've got our amputee rapper. We've got a gargoyle. Let's see, what other tropes can we hit while we're here? How's the new job going? It's going pretty good. It's all still super early, so it's ideation. It's the fun, it's the fun honeymoon period. Honeymoon. Yeah. The real shit hits the fan when you really have to start delivering stuff, and it's not all sky's the limit. But no, I mean it's been good so far. I'm enjoying it. I'm meeting everybody, so it's kind of interesting. We're kind of having to hit the ground running, but because it's an indie studio, it's a really small group. I mean, we're not going to have more people working on this game than average viewers we have in this Twitch channel. So it's not a lot of people. It's going to be very tight. We have a very limited amount of resources to try and do something that's cool and different and will stand out. And man, that's going to be the challenge. My fingers, they are crossed. But it's fun. And it's been interesting kind of having to learn. There's some pretty big cultural differences because a lot of my coworkers are Romanian. So I'm learning. They're teaching me new stuff all the time about how things are different, in the cultures. We don't have any females up there. I think I'm going to do a female. Let's do like a rigger type character. I think she'll be, it's kind of like a hacker a little bit, but more like a drone operator, a pilot, the getaway driver, It'd be kind of cool to do kind of like a hawk type drone, something that's going to sit on their arm. We'll figure something out for that. The key, like most things, is just to get something down first and suss it out later. Getting a little too hippie there. Ease it up now, cowboy. I'm excited. I get to. I live in Oregon, so ballots got sent out. I'm gonna be doing my voting tonight. Gonna vote, bitches. Yes, civic duty. I hope if you are in the States, you too have voted or will be voting. Naomi, congrats on your new job. I'm super impressed. Well done. Has that been in the works for a while? Oh, she can still be fake. No question. Just a few weeks. That's awesome. Are you working with the main staff with Ryan and Andy and those guys? Are you doing some? Are you doing feature? Are you doing TV? I'll let Naomi tell you. Awesome. Tell Andy hi. I miss him. I haven't seen him since Lightbox. It's been a while. Cypher, welcome. Yeah, congrats are definitely in order. Do a little dance. Yeah, I'm gonna do the Trump dance. What is it? It's like super something like this. I don't know. It's just sad. It just depresses me to watch. But hey, congratulations, dance. Yeah, it's been ages, huh? Yeah, wasn't that at GDC or something like that, or was it E3 when we all met? I don't think I've ever been very secretive about who I'm voting for. Or who I'm not voting for, more specifically. Oregon's a big bowl of weird nudists. Downtown, very young homeless folk. Yeah, that's true. I have been one of those. Well, less on the nudist side, but the other stuff for sure. You did a studio tour and met us. You're still a pancake of a person. No, not at all. Well, I'm very impressed. I'm super proud of you. That's great. I think you're gonna have tons of fun over there. I can't wait to see your name in the credits. course, a lot of this is going to come down to this drone. I've had enough coffee today to burst the heart of a baby hippopotamus. And I keep drinking more. I think I may have a problem, guys. They need to send me to Betty Ford for caffeine addiction. Do I prefer Seattle's over Portland's? I'd say there's a couple of like little local shops I really love here. But I honestly, to be fair, I really don't go to Seattle that often. It's pretty rare. Besides, Seattle is kind of a hive of scum and villainy. It is known. I'm mixing my nerd references just to piss people off. No, Seattle's probably okay, but in all honesty, I've had such terrible luck in Seattle. I mean, I've been what's happened to me out there? I've been in accidents out there. I've been stranded in Seattle. Weird interactions with crazy homeless people. Just Seattle's just it's always been kind of a nightmare for me, and it's a place that I tend to just it's like a what's the word I'm looking for? It's like an in between place. Like I'm almost always it's on my way to Canada or to visit friends in northern Washington. Usually it's Canada and coming back. Oh my god, the road rage and having a freeway or multiple freeways that go straight through the town is insane. And it's raining all the time, so the roads are slick. People drive like maniacs. I mean, it's I'm not big on Seattle. I have friends that live up there, so I need to start visiting and seeing more kind of the other towns around Seattle proper because I know there's a lot of cool stuff there, especially near the water. But I have not had the opportunity as of yet. So my bias against Seattle is strong and unwavering so far. I'm sure at some point I will be proven wrong, but for now, fuck Seattle. No. I'm kidding. Seattle's great. You had someone put a gun against your window, Cypher? Jesus. Seriously? That's kind of scary. I've seen guns waved in places. I feel so bad for like our non-American guests here because this must sound insane, but this is actually part of our daily life here. It was just to scare you because your car stalled? Jesus. Man, why are people such assholes? I don't get it. You only mad because you do live there? Oh, I'm sorry. I did not mean to insult your current town. I've just had bad luck there. That's all. Will you be moving back to LA with the new gig, Naomi? Jesus. Yeah, road rage is nuts. Um, Man, I've had some really weird road rage incidents in LA that were insane. I've been chased, and I've had cars try to body me or get in front of me and like slam on their brakes so that I hit them. Yeah, people are weird, man. Just sad. Aesthetic Mod, welcome. Thank you for the follow. Oh, so you get to work remotely for now? That's great, Naomi. Yeah, best case scenario. I mean, LA is so expensive right now. Until shit evens out and they become a reasonable place to live again, I wouldn't mess with it. Yay! You have a dash cam now. Oh, that's a good way to do it, Avid. Oh my god. That's terrifying. I mean, I've seen some scary stuff on the streets, some kooky gun nut shit, but honestly, most of the stuff I see is it's just funny and weird. I have what I call a weirdness magnet, and I see weird shit all the time. My theory is that actually weird shit is constantly happening. It's just people don't pay attention. Kind of like the idea of this puffy vest thing I'm starting up here. I'm just trying to get the shape of it so it feels legit as a silhouette. Because I already kind of have this open vest style jacket up here, so this needs to be something a little bit different. And I don't want this to be all just, you know, lady silhouette. Sexy. It's gotta be something. I like the idea of playing up the falconer kind of outfit somehow. I don't know. We'll play with it. We'll just keep playing with it until something kind of just rocks home. Your car was in front of theirs, so you didn't have plates? Jesus. Get a gun? Concealed carry state? Oh, big meat. Just stay home. Yeah, I guess the life of a recluse is not so bad. But, yeah. Even mass transit has its weirdness. I've seen lots of weird things on mass transit. And, I mean, Portland has one of the better mass transit systems out there, I think. Yeah, I really don't know what's going on with this. I'm not sure about this one. Eesh, I don't like how much this monitor shakes when I erase stuff. It's crazy cakes. Stop it! Why are you so jiggly? Lazy, hello! Hello, hello. Welcome! You can't get on the Atlanta mass transit without weird shit happening? Yeah. I mean, there's weird shit here too. It's just weird. I once had a girl offer to lick my eyeball once on the bus. It was then that I learned that eyeball licking was a fetish. I did not know that prior to that. Poor young, innocent Izzy. Did not know the depths of the world's madness. I'm afraid I did refuse her offer at that time. I could not fathom. I was not the erudite Izzy you know today. I was filled with fear of eyeball licking. I still think it's weird. I've actually seen that hair braiding thing before, not just on the bus, but just in general, where people will play with somebody's hair that they don't know. It seems to me that's pretty strange. Don't fuck with people's hair, man. You know what would always happen to me with my hair, especially this happened a lot when I was in elementary school, is kids would put shit in my hair. So I'd come home and I'd shake my head and like pencils and erasers and weird shit would fall out of my fro. Your friend got sliced by a razor on the train? No wonder you're all about the guns. Jesus. What is happening in this world? I've got good, delicious eyes. Yeah, pink eye. Yeah, personal space. That's important. That sounds really awful, though. I'm sorry you dealt with that. Kids are assholes. You know. It's all good. They'd never really seen anything like my hair before, I think. I was born in SoCal, in the like north of the valley, and at a young age I was imported or moved up here to Oregon, actually. And yeah, the town that I lived in, my brother and I were the only brown people there, so they didn't even know what to make of us. I'm just playing with shapes. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with this drone. I'm kind of contemplating just getting rid of it altogether, but for now, we'll just play with it and kind of see what goofy shit comes from it. Dox those kids. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I mean, those kids must be in their 40s now too, right? Or probably dead. What? What? I never wished that on them. All they did was play with my hair. Bastards. No, they're all dead. My spell took hold. That town has since been flooded. Don't mess with me. I got that dark magic, baby. I will fuck your shit up. Don't listen to me. I can tell you no truths. I kind of like the idea of this like fully luminescent jacket or whatever it is I've got going on here. I don't know, we'll put her there for now. I kind of feel like painting though, so let's take a break from these guys. I think I'm gonna take my amputee rapper and see if I can do something with him, because he's singing to me a little bit. Ha, puns. Middle school was in North Carolina. They set a girl's hair on fire. Oh my god. Yeah. Jesus. Kids are huge assholes, man. No question. Yeah, suffice to say, middle school was not pleasant for me. Did we go to school in an actual prison? Yes. Our prison is the school to prison pipeline of the United States of America. Welcome. Yeah. I don't know what it is. It's just that good living. Yeah. Well, I wouldn't call erasers contraband, or pencils for that matter. But yeah, kids are dicks, man. Especially with anything that's different, let me tell you. What I find interesting is kind of how things are probably different now. Like in some ways, you know, bullying has been curbed in a lot of different venues, but in other ones, it's like way worse. Like online bullying and things like that. Like to be a kid right now has got to be so tough. You got sucker punched for asking a question? What? Yeah, Cypher for sure. No one deserves a sucker punch. It's a wuss move. Yeah. It's certainly more complicated than just like good versus evil, even in school. Sounds like pretty much everybody here has kind of experienced some pretty heavy duty bullying in their youth, eh? Yeah, I think you're right. That schooling in general has kind of does let kids just kind of operate in a battle royale, especially on the social side. Like if a kid is not in your standard social spectrum, ooh, that is messy. Yeah, it's true. Kids need those like tools at an early age to kind of learn how to deal with their own shit and prevent that shit from interfering with the rest of society. Feel confident that society is helping to take care of them. Yeah, I think most people have probably been on both ends of the spectrum. I've certainly been responsible for both. The key is just learning to grow, right? Like moving outside of that mindset. I think travel's pretty big for that. Just like getting out and seeing other parts of the world, experiencing other cultures. I know a lot of you guys have kind of the OE, which is awesome. I wish we had that in the States. It's sort of like a regular expected experience for kids or young people in general. I think if you have the self-awareness enough to grow past, and understand that you've made mistakes and hurt people and try to be better, I mean, you can't really ask for more from a person. But they have to want to, they have to want to grow. They have to be self-aware enough to analyze their behavior and how it affects other people. I think we're going to leave this hand kind of, since it's pretty not figured out, we're going to leave it as is. We'll keep the blunt so we kind of have a point of connection there. A giant blunt. What else are we missing? The head. Oh, did we have a dropout there? It looked like a dropout. We're dropping frames like crazy, baby. $100%. Your uncle's 55 and still a bully? Ah, there's no excuse for that, I don't think. I really feel like at a certain point it just can't be satisfying to behave that way anymore. Is he a cop? Oh, Lazy beat me to it. Yeah. Yup. He's a cop. Oh, you didn't even have to say it. Oh, shit. Okay. Yeah, it sucks that that's almost obvious at this point, that the job tends to draw certain kinds of folks. I mean, I feel bad having to generalize like that, but at the same time, goddamn, it just seems so true. That's been my experience. And I have friends, some even good friends that are cops or want to be cops or have been cops. It just is, man. All right, let's do background. Let's put a little something in here. Damn it, I want a cupcake. I like cupcakes. Yes, cupcakes. I like cupcakes a lot. I have not had one in quite a while. I miss my sweets, gang. I'm missing my sweets. I did this to myself. No, I imagine bad things would happen to those cupcakes in the meantime if you sent them to all of us. Let's see what we got here. Let's do some darks real quick. So I'm definitely thinking this character might be maybe black or Southeast Asian. Kind of thinking along with the like a Night City cyberpunk kind of feel. I want to get like nice, going to be a combination of colors, really strong light sources that are kind of canceling each other out, making things feel really graphic. So that'll be key. Okay, real quick, let's carve out some forms, get some more darks in. It's kind of tough having the character on one sort of extreme of this really wide shot, but I don't want to crop right now because I'll lose information. If we continue this painting going into the next session, I'll definitely do a crop version so it's a little easier to manage. Why not both? Half black, half Southeast Asian. I like it. I make this look easy? Ah, well, that's sweet. It is not. It is it's a slow, laborious process to suss this out. But I think one of the things I really want to impart to people is that it's learnable. That there's nothing that I'm doing that's really any kind of magic. There's a lot of essential just logic going on. A lot of if this, then that. Oh, it's definitely not witchcraft. I will not tell you the story about my visit to the crossroads in that little podunk town east of Barstow. Where there were all those skulls on the fences, rattlesnake skins, and the wind called your name. You don't want to know. I'm saving you from yourself. I made the deal so you don't have to. Those kids are fine. Don't worry about them. Forget about those kids. Oh, you guys are fun. I enjoy hanging out with y'all. I'm glad you could join me. This is great. Yeah, those kids are the unspoken. Oh, pardon me. Take that. Enjoy my yawn face. I can't believe I'm yawning after all the coffee I've had today. Kind of incredible. Is it possible to drink so much coffee that it just makes you tired? Is that even a thing? I wonder if that's a thing. I bet you that's a thing. Absolutely. That's very true. Crimes against humanity are not to be repeated in the Twitch channel. They're just little secrets betwixt you and me. Thanks for the follow, Will. Welcome. You've been awake for 40 straight hours? Damn. I attempted to do that once with some friends. We stayed up very, very late just to see how long we could stay up, and it ended in hallucinations about cartoon characters and eating sugar packets as if they were food. I don't recommend it. Turns out sleep is important. Certainly not something I can do now in my old age. You have so much work to do? Oh no. Well, hopefully you're able to work on it while hanging out with us. Dude Cameron, welcome. Dude Cameron's bringing some epic facts to the table. We don't speak about the kids. 17 years old, stayed away for 11 days and 25 minutes. That's a long time. I think we did 4.5 days. Yeah, but we weren't eating food. We were just eating sugar, like literally just sugar, and drinking Coke. So the fact that our hearts didn't explode is kind of a miracle in and of itself. I'm sure this kid was doing it right. Was attended by doctors and such for his world record break. We were just dumbasses playing too many video games. I don't know if any of you are old enough to remember the original GTA, which was a top-down view video game. By the third day, we were playing video games almost that entire time, and then going on walks and just eating sugar. And we had played so much GTA on a single game. We had killed all the cops in the game. So we had all of these like we had a full bounty out for us, where like the tanks and the cops and all of them had come after us, and they just stopped coming after a while. We'd been doing it for so long that they were just gone. And then when we couldn't play anymore, we would pause it and leave the computer on and go watch cartoons and hallucinate. It was great. Don't do it. It's bad for you. The cops are just like, nope, we've had enough. These kids are just drinking Coke, Mountain Dew, and eating straight sugar packets. This kid is operating on 78 packets of sugar in the raw. He's lost his mind. Okay, we've been doing a lot of hard edge stuff. We're gonna have to start doing some soft edge stuff pretty soon here, just to kind of so far we're still monochromatic. Let's do a color pass real quick. No, let's do background. Yes, absolutely. We've learned that the cops will leave you alone if you take a bunch of drugs. Like those guys in Florida with the bath salts and eating people's faces. Welcome to America. When you get the blurry vision, yeah. I'm just in it for the hallucinogens, man. Alright, color. Summers guy, welcome. Thank you for the follow. No, it's fine to pick on America. We kind of deserve it, especially right now. We did this to ourselves. I remember I was in New Zealand during the Bush Jr. administration, and I remember just being on bus trips and things like that, and having like the bus driver was just tearing into me like I was the singular representative for all of the United States, and it was like I don't disagree. I'm sorry. It is what it is, man. There's literally nothing I can do. Oops. The guy had pent up frustrations. The Kiwi bus driver. Oh yeah, definitely. Of course. But some legitimate concerns about the police nation, which is fair. Okay, so I'm practicing again. I'm going to be my purposeful practice with this sketch, with this character design, is to key my values together in a smooth, clear way that gives a nice graphic read, and not let my desire for really soft edges and rendering to kind of prevent a clear delineation between what is light and what is shadow. That's my challenge to myself. It is not easy. If you were to be a double amputee, you think some badass arms would be in order too? Oh yeah. You don't even get them. They'll just give you socks to put over your stumps. Yay. Like they'll be insulted that you're sick in their presence or struggling in their presence. It's very on brand. And then when the local middle school robotic engineers come up with amputation, or come up with shit, what am I thinking of here? Prosthetics for you. Then it's going to be like an aw instead of the horror show. Accepting how horrible it really is, that's how you have to get the help you need. Oh no, we're doing great. Nope, don't like any of that. That's all gotta go. Hate it, hate it, hate it, hate it, die, go away. I hate you, I hate you. Oh my god, yeah. No, it's true. Now with COVID, like we're super unwanted as a nation. Like everybody's blocked us out. They're gonna have none of us. I like you guys' stress food choices. Doodlebug's puffs. Poor Doodlebug, he gonna starve without his puffs. Oh, thanks, Lazy. It's all about them highlights. You can kind of, like I was saying, just in the planning of this in terms of color and the lighting, when you have a genre like Cyberpunk, the sky's the limit with your lighting. You can really do some crazy shit. So that we knew from the get-go that we were going to try to do some graphic stuff, make it really sharp, really stylized lighting. And by leaning into that early, we can make some pretty quick, art direction decisions on stuff. I think using like a real sharp brush like I'm using right now kind of forces me to be calligraphic, simplify, imply things with like little dots and strokes. And because it looks that's the fun thing about sharp brushes like this, is because it looks so purposeful. There's this implication of intent that, I mean, obviously there isn't that much intent actually happening. I'm just kind of scribbling. But because it's done with an overt amount of confidence, it tricks you into seeing more detail than there really is. It's one of those fun little things about your eyes that I'm abusing right now. Oh, Cypher, you're a monster. Pure horror show. Hard round brush is your baby? Damn right. You gotta learn to love it. It can take you some places. It has such sights to show you. Now, right here, I'm breaking the rules and the logic of light, but I'm doing it with kind of a graphic designer approach. So I can always come back and edit it so that it's accurate, but right now I want to just get a cool feel. Like this is all about cool right now rather than logic. Thanks for the follow, Pretzels and Rice. Welcome. That sounds delicious. Your hotel has slow internet. That's awful. Can you change the output so that it's not as draining? I don't know if it's like Netflix where you can change the stream speed and all that good stuff. Hopefully. Cyberpunk. You know what it is? Is like, man, living in Oregon now. It's like gray and dark out. It just makes me sleepy. So sleepy. Send your cocaine. Stat. Okay, let's leave that alone for a little bit. Let's see what else we got. Let's do some more light. Let's actually do a screen layer and let's see what happens. Let's grab a softer brush. Soft brush. Ooh, oh, new. Now, I recognize this is hideous right now. That's just the way of things. You gotta lean into the hideous. It's acceptable sometimes, so long as you have a plan to deal with it. That was as much about color as it was light. Probably even more about light than color, to be honest. We can always punch things in different directions in terms of the hue, but we really want to start making some value decisions over here and make it add that light source. We need that light source, baby. Octups, welcome and thank you for the follow. So it gave us a fair amount of information there. I don't like the color. Let's mess with the color with a hue and saturation guy. Still good to you. You've seen the potential. Ooh. Your internet is not going to allow for more Twitch. Well, shit. I'm sorry to hear that, Lazy. Thanks for hanging for what little bit you could. Have a good one. Good day. Take care. And come join us if it gets sorted. We'll be on tomorrow too. Same time. Same crack channel. Can't do cool here. Pop the lightness even further. Bust out some saturation. Little saturation. Little bit of color. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. All right. What do I want to do with this? I want to do light source. Cyberpunk, I need lights. Let's throw some lights on this bitch. Let's grab that sharp brush again. What kind of lights might be a fun complement here? Ooh. Ooh. Have a little bit of Tron lights, because why not? Life is short. I will decide I hate that shortly, I'm sure, but whatever. Whatever. Can't all be great. Most of my art is shitty. But it's fun trying to find out if this is going to be a shitty one or not, right? Alright, let's do another one. We'll leave that. I'll set this to emissives. Okay, so we gotta figure out some material stuff here. We've been leaning very heavily on the sketch aspect of this, which means we're not defining materials very well. So let's go ahead and start doing that. But the problem with that is when you work on materials and trying to answer some of the questions for how things look, you really need to have an idea of what a thing is. And it means that we need to refine our design for these arms. We got to refine the design for the character so that all of this comes together in one cohesive whole. So this stump is going to be coming towards our light source, which means I want to kind of give it a shadow side, a spot where the clavicle is going to kind of meet. I'm basically just going to paint over the necklaces right now. We can add the necklaces later, but for now the actual anatomy is broken. So I'm going to save. What we're going to do is we're going to group our fella. Go group. We're going to copy just in case. This is the protecting ourselves, and we're going to turn that off. We'll be able to go back. I am going to crunch all these things together. We're going to merge. Dun dun! Terrifying. Fear, I have it in my heart. Hey, Mike Vance! Thanks for the follow. Now, let's do a little bit of clarification here. Well, you know, I like this kind of stumpy shape we have here. Make it a little bit, just a little bit more humorous. And the purpose for that is to round out just the flesh so we have a nice overlap. And there's more clarifying anatomy for me. And also so that I can pull the muscles away from that clavicle a little bit, because it's a common mistake, and I do it all the time, connecting the deltoid to, you know, the wrong areas on the shoulder, especially when it's kind of in a deeper perspective like this. So you got to be mindful of that stuff. There are mistakes that you make. You just, with the familiarity comes the knowledge that this is going to be a soft spot, and it needs to be figured out. And recognizing those soft spots sooner is going to help you with your painting. Guaranteed. Oops. Ooh, we got some messages. Baller stuff, man. Summers, welcome. Got to go pick up the kid. Hopefully you can be more active on the next stream. Hey, we'd love to have you. I do have a regular schedule. I am currently doing Mondays and Tuesdays, 3 p.m. on. And Thursdays are 12 p.m. on. 12 p.m.? Right, yeah, noon. All Pacific Standard Time. So yeah, come on, give us a follow, join up, and hang out. We like talking about filthy shit. Maybe let the kids not watch. Or you should let them watch. If you want to be a cool parent, you know. Just saying. I'm a horrible person. Do not let me around your children. That's not true. This is a fun fact. This is a fun, true fact that you will find highly amusing if you have watched this channel for any length of time. For a not necessarily brief amount of time, I was an au pair. People hired me to take care of their children. That's right. That's true. That really happened. I don't even believe that shit. What kind of kooky duke stuff is that? No, I'm good with kids. Kids love me. Parents, not so much. Kids think I'm great. I suspect it's the free candy sign on the side of my van. Yeah, for real. That's totally real. I was an au pair. The family whose kids I took care of really the dad was a TV director. He directed TV shows, and they traveled a lot. And the mom really wanted to hire me full time. Like, she wanted me to quit high school and go around with them and take care of their kids. That shit was funny. Like, nah, that's a hard pass, y'all. Not that I did great in high school anyway. I barely graduated that shit. Okay. I gotta slow down. On this because I worked on the loose, you know, the quick gesture of this character, and I captured a gesture that I really like, but right now my gesture is breaking anatomy, it's breaking all sorts of shit, perspective. So we got to slow down a second. We got to stop painting, and we need to draw a little bit to try and refine, like, his rib cage, the anatomy of the chest. There's a lot of weird shit going on. So now we need to slow it down, take a minute, analyze what's going on. This would be the phase that I would go and look for reference, you know. I'd try and find some robotics reference, things like that. Since I don't want to go down a accidental pornographic slide with you guys, we're going to leave the browsers closed and the viruses off my machine for now. And we're going to try and muscle it with our pink thinky meats. Sounds like a good setup for a Disney show. You're not wrong, Design Barrel. Welcome. That's a good idea. It would be a funny Disney show. How to terrify the kids. Hire the kid with the trench coat to be the au pair. Totally trustworthy. No, I was really good. I was proud of the job. I tried to do well. I've done a lot of weird jobs. That was one of the weirder ones. Okay, so rib cage. I think kind of this will be the pit of the neck where the clavicles join. Sternum's probably going to be right here. So what we have here is a case of an extremely long torso. It's not anatomically impossible. There are all sorts of different body types out there, and some folks have really long torsos. Just in terms of physiognomy, I don't know, polygamy, I don't know. There's kind of a generalization that I can work with here with a lot of Asian bodies, Southeast Asian. We have longer torsos, slightly shorter legs, and we can work with that. We can accent that in order to ensure that this character feels like a combination of the races that I'm after. So I'm just gonna paint right on top of the line drawing. I don't care. I'm gonna get rid of the necklaces altogether because I want to get this chest right. I think I'm gonna let him have I forget the name for this kind of chest, but where there's kind of a concavity. It's when the sternum is divoted in. There's two different ways that this can go. It's this particular sort of congenital deformation, which is the rib cage has kind of a pinched in point right here at the sternum, and then there's pigeon breasted where actually it comes out a little bit. We will do the former with this character to kind of really, the goal here is to really accentuate how skinny he is, you see? So in keeping with my lighting scenario, I know where my light's coming from, this kind of direction. I want to ensure that I'm following that. There's the pit of the neck painted in now instead. Clavicle. So see how I have my clavicle here. This shape. Going into the neck, and we need it on the other side. He's got his arm raised, but you see the clavicle is being pinched. It's too short. So everything that I've got there needs to move. I tried to fix it and I was unable to. But at least I knew it was wrong. Copy merged, pasted it on top of my chest fix, and we're going to move that shoulder out. And you'll see how it'll feel much more natural right away. So now we can take that clavicle, stretch it out a little bit. Yeah. Which means, so the trapezius here needs a slightly different angle of insertion. And that gives us, if you trace the trapezius up to, I think it goes, the trapezius goes all the way up to the base of the skull, but it kind of does these, it does a serrated connection to each vertebrae. And it has major contact points. And the major contact point is the 7th cervical vertebrae on the way down. On some people, you can actually see it, like it'll look like on their neck, kind of a nodule that comes out right there. And then the base of the skull here. And so the trapezius tends to kind of connect up like this. It'll go all the way, it does go all the way up, but it has this, if you were to peel the skin off of those children that put stuff in your hair in school, you would see that the muscle follows this kind of, the striations of the muscle follow this kind of rhythm. And there's a major landmark right there, which is that vertebrae. What? That's a no. Ah! Okay, so now by filling this out, the torso feels a little bit more filled out too. Let's turn it off and turn it on. So you can see kind of how there's a more natural feeling of kind of anatomical wholeness. Like the neck doesn't feel like it's this weird pin that's being held up anymore. They're connected to each other. And we want that. We want a nice feeling of cohesive anatomy. Avid, you can't call me when I'm on Twitch. I told you this already. It's very rude, sir. Very rude. Test, test, test. Natu Art. Thank you for the follow and welcome. All right, so now we can kind of refine our shapes just a touch right there. I'm still not super concerned right now with rendering. I just want to get kind of a rough idea of where the light is hitting so that things make sense. It's not all kooky dukes and nonsense. We want the highlight on that bit of deltoid there. You know, we're missing an important feature here, gang. We needs to get them nipples in there. We need some nipples. Oh my god. Okay. No, I'm seriously, I'm okay, guys. I'm all right. This is not a stroke you're experiencing. All is good. It's just, he's a mammal, okay? You need to respect his genus here. Or is it familia? Or is it, wait, I don't know. I'm bad at this. Frosty nips. He's got the blue nips. They're so frosty. Ha! All right, I have been listening to this goddamn ET anthem for like, it seems like it's been going for 20 minutes. Please, please no more ET. Go away. Okay. Something different. That's nice. We like that. Uh-oh. All right, we need the ribs over here, over yonder. I'm gonna ignore the cast shadow for now. His obliques. Kind of hint at them. He's got a weirdo pelvis. Because he's a weirdo boy. accentuating the skinniness. Always important to get the navel in the right spot. If you don't put it in the right spot, it looks damn weird. Tain't right. Design Barrel browsed through your Instagram and saw the weird creature stuff. And I was like, ew! Browsed some more until I saw the Twitch skin you did for League of Legends. I was like, this guy draws weird stuff. Why would Riot hire him? Watching your stream for 5 minutes and I have my answer. Well, turns out weird stuff sells. Thanks for the follow, Design Barrel. I say just go with your heart and you'll find your place. And so I try. I try. I'm just happy some places are willing to take a risk on weird stuff. Okay. I want to push that that divot of the sternum in even further. If you look up this particular deformity, it's very interesting how it affects the shape of the body. It almost kind of juts the lower part of the rib cage out, and it kind of comes out in this. This is the opposite of pigeon-breasted schmoovit. And I can't remember the name of it, but it's a concave. The breast is concave, so the sternum actually pushes in, and you end up with this cup. So if the person was like laying on their back and it rained, they would have a puddle in their chest. It's crazy. I knew a guy in high school that had this. I remember seeing it for the first time then. It was a confusing time, high school. So many strange new feelings. And the glowing nipple deformity. Yes, of course. All right. Let's see. What can we do next? We've kind of worked out the body and made it a little bit more logical. The legs are not logical still. They're a little bit over the top and designy based on our sketch. The face needs a lot of work too, so we're going to go back and draw on that. But for now, let's turn off our lights. Uh-oh. Oh shit, I merged it all down. I did this to myself, guys. I did it to myself. You always hurt the ones you love. Alright, I'm just going to cover up that light that I added for now. It's not important. I want to draw the legs. Let's get in. It's very chilly in the future. And so you get ice nipples. That's a fact. That's a widely believed fact. Pelvis bottom. The key to getting your figures to work, even when they're stylized like this, is to draw through. You got to draw through. Make sure that the clothes are sitting on the character correctly. If none of it makes sense, I mean, you can get away with a lot. You really can. But if you're struggling and something doesn't feel right, it's because you didn't draw through. Almost always. Your proportions were wrong. Your anatomy was wrong. Something is not working according to the camera. So you got to double check. I'm not entirely certain that I have anything wrong per se, but definitely I can afford to double check it. And it's just good. It's just good practice to try sometimes. When in doubt, S-shape it out. Yeah. I like the S shape and the B shape. Yeah, anatomy's wrong. Don't like it. So we're going to... Let's see if we can get this a little bit better. A little bit more accurate. So the top of the pelvis, ischium, insertion right there. And yes, the S shape is a really good way to go. So I think maybe for... what I was doing, I made his leg too long on the back, maybe? Let's see. Yeah, I think that might be what happened here. It can be tempting sometimes when you're drawing your figures to just get into the anatomy of whatever it is you're drawing, and sometimes it can actually work against what your character is. And in the case of this character, him being very skinny, going out of my way to make really big leg muscles doesn't really make sense. This should definitely be a really skinny leg, right? So massive muscles, not really the way to go. Make sure you know where your landmarks are, where your bony landmarks are. So like the outer portion of the fibula right there. Tibia's here. We got our ankles. Could be pushing our fisheye a little too much, but let's stick with it for now and just see if it's working. It's possible I've just chunked it by pushing the big foot, the forward foot too much. And let's see, shrinking that distal leg too much. Let's see if it, oops, nope. You can't just move it, you gotta stretch it. Stretch it out. So by changing the direction of the leg a little bit, that gives us important information on where the break in the pants needs to happen. So this can go down, and then we'll have a big pop here. I think that's probably a little bit more natural feeling, and we should have a break here instead. This is all poopy. You can climb with those robot arms. That's true. You can also smoke cigarettes with it. Okay, now that I've done that, I can... Gives me my center seam, cross, pockets. Everybody needs pockets. Even skirts need pockets. Now get an amen. Let's see. We doing on time? Let's double check. Okay. Now what did I have for pants? I had some dark pants. Make sure I'm on that new layer. A quick dark pass. Super quick and dirty. Some flesh tone for the feet. These little piggy hooves. You can work out the details later. Right now it's just about getting the tones in the right spot. Good enough. Okay. So maybe we can do a little bit of design stuff. Do some cyberpunk clothing goodies. You know, all cyberpunks want to have a little detail that draws attention to their junk. Oh yeah, baby. All right, that feels a little bit more natural. Let's get back up here. I'm just gonna start painting using the background as well. It's a mixed bag. Sometimes it's easier to paint, you know, background edges directly into foreground edges, and you can play a little bit more quickly. There's more of a natural feel to it, but also it can really muddy your control over a painting. In a professional environment, unless I'm in the very end of a design, I won't do what I'm doing right now, where I'm just kind of mushing background and foreground together, because I may need to go back and change something, or you know, the client may have a change of heart about some random thing, and it's just easier to manage those changes when everything's on a different plane, like a different layer, literally. But you know, we're just fooling around in here together. We're just having fun. We're just being a group of dum-dums. It's a good time. So here's an interesting anatomical aside for you anata nuts out there. This is a common misconception about the pecs. A lot of people draw the pecs because they learn anatomy from watching other artists. They draw the pecs like this, where it is like a bubble, and then like a bubble, and then like a bubble. And actually what happens here is you got to think about the purpose of the pectoralis, right? The pectoralis is all of the muscles that are in the chest right there are used to pull your arm forward and also to rotate it up, like this motion. So in order for that to happen, everything has to run counter to the direction that it's intended to pull something. All of your muscles work like this. So if you know that a muscle needs to pull like this direction, for instance, you know that the muscle's going to pull, that the muscle's going to be opposite of the direction that it needs to pull. Well, knowing that the pec moves in the way that it does, we should understand and should paint our musculature here with the twist. What happens is that the insertion of this muscle going into the humerus right here is the result of a twist. So you'll have the mass of the chest that goes to the arm, and it actually crosses over itself and becomes a twist on the other side. So for it to do that, the actual the twist that allows you to do these movements will mean that the striations of the muscle need to go opposite. So they overlap each other like this instead. And the bottom ones will come up into the top and insert into the humerus that way. So if this will be the humerus right here. And then you'll have, your deltoid up here and all that other good stuff. But the overlap of striations need to go underneath each other as they go down. And this little detail is often overlooked, like a lot, when I see paintings of characters, especially muscular ones. So this guy's really skinny. You're not going to see a whole great deal of his muscles, but to kind of accentuate what I'm talking about here, you would see this bit of this lobe, if you will, of muscle overlapping this one here underneath, which goes under it. And the next one would do the same. You see what I'm saying? It's an interesting feature. You'll only see it in very lean, sharp, like ropey muscle. That's where you're going to see these kind of effects. And it's not like perfectly even. There's a small lobe and a medium lobe and a larger lobe, but the larger lobe doesn't connect all the way to the front, so it's more like that. Little bit of anatomical fun for you, gang, if you're into that sort of thing. I don't know what people like to learn or see. So with that in mind, you could do something like have light pick up right here. And this would make sense, because there's an overlap. Same thing on this guy. You could have little pops of light there because it's actually twisting up and under. This striation of muscle connects higher on the humerus than this muscle does. This connects lower. And that twist, that's what lets us do these things. So cool. We are one of very few species that are capable of doing that. This is called brachiating, which is putting your arm above your head. Most animals can't do that. And this is a direct result of the really complex muscle structures that we have up here, and the tendons and the bones. The combination of the mechanism of the clavicle and how it connects to the scapula back here. So the scapula is in the back, which is a floating bone that sits on top of other muscle and is surrounded by muscle. So there's sheets of muscle that are on the rib cage. If you were to completely yank somebody's arm off and pull off the scapula, you would still see muscle all over the ribs. And then there's muscle on the inside of the scapula and muscle on the outside of the scapula. And those are what lets you kind of do these things. It's super cool. This is a really unique and amazing piece of mechanical engineering here. It's very complex and extremely weak. It's extremely weak. This is one of our biggest weak points. Yes, it allows us to do a great many things that other animals cannot do, but also it means that your arm can just be torn out of a socket with a very little effort. Same thing here. You can even imply this overlap that I'm talking about on the far end. See how it feels a little more natural? That it's not that kind of Capcom style, just big chunk. I mean, it's a style thing, of course, and those guys know their anatomy. They've chosen to stylize, but there's this naturalness that comes when you have the overlap following the natural rhythms of the anatomy. Dislocated your rotator cuff underwater. Eesh, ouch. Yeah, I've had both of my shoulders completely dislocated a number of times now. I think I told that story in a Twitch already. That was a boating accident when I lived on my sailboat back in the day. But this is a really beautiful, it's a beautiful structure and well worth a great deal of study if you want to master painting figures. So you were swimming when this happened, or like were you potentially molesting a dolphin that didn't want you doing that? Like, how did you get a dislocated shoulder underwater like that? Was there a marlin that you had abused? Yeah, I was out in the middle of nowhere. Not really middle of nowhere. I was about a mile offshore, and I got caught in a storm, and the sails came. One of the sails came loose. It was a freak accident, and I thought that I could be stronger than the wind and the waves, and I was not at all. I got fucked up pretty good to this day. I mean, you've probably seen me like kind of rubbing my shoulder or working my shoulder. It's because it still hurts, man. It hurts right now. This is one of those lifelong, like, oh, there's a storm a-coming. One of those. I know it. So now that we know that the mass of the trapezius is coming forward there, now I can change the lighting situation just a touch so that it feels more correct. And that's what it is, just this back and forth. Wave thrash. Oh, I've been thrashed by the waves, that day included. Army basic training, Jesus. So they wound their soldiers before they even send them out. That's nuts. Why are you abusing them dolphins, you monster? Oh, guys, I'm absolutely going to get kicked off of Twitch. This is fantastic. Did your arms get limp and just coasted? Are you asking me or Big Meat here? The force of it. It's like wanking Superman. All right. So this is another common misconception. I painted in the clavicles so that you could see them, but you don't often actually see a separation of clavicle from the muscles on both sides. It's usually just one side. So you can see usually a shelf like this, and then the muscles connect and the skin connects and the fatty tissue that's in between all of those places connect so that it's not quite so pronounced. It's only really that pronounced on extremely skinny people. On the boat, no, I actually managed to get the sail down. I just fought through it. I didn't even feel the pain at the time. But when I actually got to a safe spot, I took down my sail and put it back up properly, and I passed out on the deck right there. And when I woke up about 4 hours later, I couldn't move my arms at all. It was bad. It was very painful. And then, like I said, to this day, it's just like this awful kind of, it's like a pinching ache, which sucks. Don't get old, gang. Don't get old. It's not good for you. I don't recommend it. Stay young forever. All right, so here I've done something where, we're having fun painting anatomy. So I've been painting anatomy. The problem is that this anatomy that I've painted does not fit this character. This character is extremely thin. His arms are going to be very poorly developed on account of his condition. So we need to ease up on these big-ass deltoids that I'm giving him. Which is good, so it means we can kind of accentuate the wiry pecs a little bit more. Get this smaller head of the deltoid in there, but we have to flatten it out. It can't belly out and be really huge. It's got to feel small and lean. Nope, too much. Same thing, I just made the bellies just too big to the muscle. It's all gotta be flat, because he's skinny. Alright, we got about 15 minutes, I'd say. I promised myself that I would spend some time studying my ballot, so that I can get my vote out. Dude, storms on boats are fucking terrifying. There is no question. Even the small ones can be very, very intense and scary. I've been in storms at dock, and that was scary as hell. It was not for the faint of heart. Ermagerd, what is the Wheel of Art Direction? The Wheel of Art Direction is a little feature you can spend your Z bolts on. That is a little game that we'll play, which is effectively kind of, you get to experience what it's like to have an art director come and lean in and completely change the trajectory of whatever it is you're doing. And many art directors, not all, will do it in a way that's highly confusing and requires you to kind of decode what they really meant. So I've built this little system. It's basically just a little game of chance. And if we spin the wheel of art direction, then we can see what stuff may come. No, I don't get to art direct me. I mean, I do get to interpret what the art director intends, but the art direction it's totally random. I figured I would add it because I thought that, a lot of you are interested in kind of, maybe getting into concept art or illustration or something like that. There's a reason you're watching. And I wanted you to see what it's like how fast things can change and how plastic you need to be with your work. So yeah, if you got the points, feel free to give it a roll. You're just here for the dick jokes. Well, I mean, there are ways that you can art direct. We can discuss that, depending on what the wheel of art direction states. It may be that you get to choose something, so it's random. Sometimes it's nothing at all. Nothing at all. Stupid, sexy Flanders. I think Armor Gird has some specific needs here. Why not? I'll allow it until I'm booted from Twitch, until I get the big message that says this is not allowed. Why not? I'll let you guys be weird little pervos. This is a safe space for weirdos and pervos. Wieners are for wieners. This is the community of filth, and I will have none of it. Puritanical Izzy is here. You're all going straight to hell. There's a point where you can get so skinny that the vascular structure on the muscles of the belly can be seen, and it's so weird. I've never actually painted it, so I'm kind of curious. I don't think I can pull it off without reference. But it might be something to think about when I do a reference hunt for this guy. It's definitely like got major pelvic separation. Don't act like it's just you. I facilitate it? What? Me? I would never. I balk, I say. Balk at such accusations. Yeah, sad facts indeed. You make my heart hurt. Oh, dude, I'm all about old, completely outdated references. Saying of which, let me show you, well, not saying of which, but to previous conversation, I have a totally different window. Haha! This, right here, this guy. This way? This way. I can't. I'm bad. It's a mirror. Shut up, don't judge me. This is our wheel of art direction, by the by, so you can kind of see what that's all about. And one of the things that I wanted to include in the Wheel of Art Direction is actual art direction that I have received before. So I figure each one comes with a story anyway. Anyway, that's just a little hint at it for you there. Now we back to my painting. My painting? Let's take a... We need to unify... Oh, you bastard. You're a monster. Ermagerd. No! I was liking where we were going. Well, okay, so you're blaming this back on me? That's not fair. This isn't my doing. This is not... This is victim blaming, is what this is. That's... Ooh. Oh, unacceptable. All right, here we go. We now roll... Spin? We spin the Wheel of Art Direction. Yeah, you had to spin those for it. I created the wheel. This is for you. My pain is your pleasure. Where it lands, nobody knows. Aw, damn it. Too feminine. All right, well, shit. Accurate. I think this is doubly effective. Too feminine, and Ermagerd is a her. You done fucked up, cuz. That's just more dicks by another name. I think it's kind of the opposite. No, I guess you're right. No, it is. Well, we gotta unfeminize our ultra feminine character. This is a fun one because let's go back to live. Because how in the hell does how do you make it less feminine? It's just what's feminine? I guess you could say maybe this is the problem with statements like that, is then you get into the territory of like, what does that even mean? And is that full on dickish statement? You're telling me more dicks. Okay. Oh geez. I'm allowing a great many Oh, I'm going to hell. I mean, it's virtually guaranteed now. Dick stumps. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. What can we do? So generally the first thing that I'll think about when people start talking about feminine or masculine is I will think about pose. So right now, perhaps I could say, and this is the fucked up thing about this is, it gets into tropes. You get into trope territory so fast when you have a direction like that. And it's a really traditional way to art direct. It's a traditional way to talk in the workplace. And honestly, it doesn't fly like that anymore. You got to find other ways to say these sorts of things. But I, as an art director, would shy away from saying that beyond it being an issue of sexism in the workplace and things like that. It's terrible art direction because it doesn't really tell me what you're thinking and what you need. So as an art director, you should try to avoid abstractions like that. It's totally fine to art direct in a verbose way or a flowery way in regard to verbiage, but it should all be cohesive and make sense for your artists. Adam Robert Martin, thank you for the follow, sir. Welcome. So, my first instincts are to go to pose. Like maybe he's flourishing too much. When I've had art direction like less feminine, usually it means something like there's a gay flourish here that we don't like, or something like that. Instead of saying that they're a little too extravagant or something like that, they'll get into weird verbiage, like I said. So you got to be careful if you're art directing, especially with the way things have changed. But more than anything, it's about clarity. Be clear for your artists. Communicate clearly. Don't use dumb phrases. Stop and think before you give people feedback. Make them a lumberjack. Big beard. Thanks, Adam Robert Martin. Yeah, one of the ways that we could tackle this is just give him, we could go, let's make a whole new layer. Let's grab what we got. Maybe the art director, when they said, it's too feminine, what they really mean is it's too skinny. See, this is the problem, and that's why I wanted to include the wheel of art direction. It's when you're the artist and you're working with an art director that's maybe not so skilled in communication, it's then your job to decipher and slowly draw out what they're actually trying to say by asking them questions like, okay, do you think it's because of the shape of the body? Do you think it's the pose? Do you think it's the colors? What is it about this that makes it feel too feminine? And it's a hard job, but a big part of concept art in particular, but illustration as well, is communication. And working with a director is all communication. Konshawan, thank you for the follow. You need Jesus, Ermagerd. You need some Jesus inside you. Wait. What? Wait. Okay. Copy, merge, paste, transform. Okay, we can pretty easily kind of thicken out that chest, get rid of all of that effort that I put in to give him the concave sternum and skinny him up. We're going to now get rid of, we're beefing him up because that's what the Wheel of Art Direction said to do. And we must obey the Wheel of Art Direction. Dun dun dun. Okay, so that's not enough. I still have all of these elements in the body that are still showing and implying that extreme skinniness that we had. So now we got to just beef him up and fill out those muscles a little bit more. He's no longer going to have these concavities. We're going to belly the muscles. All that work we did is now gone. Thank you, Ermagerd. Thank you so much for what you've done to me. Goddamn monsters. All right, we got to get rid of this concavity here. Let's kind of just smooth it out just a touch. We're going to get rid of this one as well. And now, because there's more thickness in the meat, we're going to get rid of some of that striation and belly out the muscles just a touch. It's all right. Like I said, this is all a learning experience. Absolutely, the neck can contribute to anatomical differences. Shoulder meats. There's that follow icon. Even though the muscle is thicker, the belly of the muscle is wider and broader, the muscle still has the same origins, the same insertions. You just have to change the behavior of the light on the form of the musculature. thickening up the brow, thinning the lips. Both of those things can be physiology. So they don't necessarily, they can help to depict a generalized masculinity, but I mean, I have, look at these thick monstrosities. No, no, no. My noodle lips. This looks hella cool. Thanks, Kanchawan. Getting hyped for Cyberpunk? Me too. That's what actually started all of this, is I wanted to paint some Cyberpunk shit because I'm a kid. I'm getting excited. God damn it. You're right. I can't talk back to the art director. All right, important note on the 6-pack. You're gonna have your navel generally around the lower third. And remember that the 6-pack, it's not just like it doesn't just operate in that vacuum there. It needs to connect to all of the tissue around it. So it also has origins, insertions. The bellies have their bulge spot. So I'm giving him a little bit of a dad bod type, not dad bod, but the Hollywood dad bod effect by just pooching out his stomach muscles a little bit. We definitely need to connect the stomach muscles to the pelvis a little bit more. And this all needs to be thickened with muscle. This is all muscle now. All right, so I'm gonna turn this off and on so we can kind of see the difference. See how much it changes? It's kind of crazy. I definitely had the navel in the wrong spot, which is okay. These things happen. This should be right down here. A little bit lower. Probably about here. Maybe my instinct was right the first time. Okay. Doesn't matter now though, because Ermagerd ruined everything. What's fun is you stick around for the abuse. Thick, yeah. Only a month away. Supposedly, I have a feeling they're probably going to do another extension. We'll see. Part of you wants your character to look like Ruby Rot. Yeah, I love that character. You green, super green. I love that movie. Do you know that Luc Besson wrote that when he was like a teenager? You can't hear haters. I can. Why? Why do you have to hurt me like this? All I want is your love. All right. We did not belly out the muscle out here, so we definitely need to do that because that still feels kind of skinny. So that means just a touch of overhang and gravity. Just a touch. Got to give him his little man boobies. His luscious man boobies. Because, so remember how I was talking about the structure of this muscle? You're going to see the greatest separation when the arm is lifted, like I'm starting to do here, and you're going to see that overlap a little bit more, especially if it's actually flexing. You can see the pop out there, and then there's a little bit of light that picks up underneath. So that's those twisted muscles straightening, and as they straighten, you can see the belly of the not the belly. I'm sorry, but the separation between the major lobes of that muscle. He stole a lot of it from French comic book artists, namely Mobius. Oh, Luc Besson? Oh, totally. Yeah, obviously he was influenced by French comic book artists. I mean, I don't know how you couldn't be these days, this day and age. He's written a lot of good stuff. I Leon the Professional is still one of my favorites of all time. Hard to imagine them postponing the game again since it's already gone gold. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Going gold meaning going to disc, but in this day and age with post-release patches and updates, going gold is kind of a soft launch. I mean, I've worked on games where we went gold and we were still working on the game after it went gold. Gold is something that these days that you tell consumers so that they can feel confident in making their purchase. There's plenty of examples of games where they went gold, they got shipped, and they had to do post-release patches because it did not function. There's some major contributors to that. Think, what was that last Fallout? I've heard nightmare shit about that. I didn't even buy that one. He's been coasting on his 90s success for like 20 years. Honestly, yeah, that's pretty fair. I enjoyed Lucy, but I recognized how stupid it was. There was nothing special about it, really, but it was fun. I had a good time with Lucy. Didn't even see whatever that sci-fi fantasy thing was that came out a few years ago. Was that the Angel one? I don't even remember. Hey, Wasabi was great. Come on. Didn't know I worked on games. Yeah, I'm a game developer. I do concept art traditionally. I've worked on my last in-studio game was God of War, the God of War Ascension, which was the one before the Viking one that just came out. Well, it didn't just come out, but the last one that came out. Yeah, I've been working in games for 15 years, I'd say. Yeah, about since 2005. Yeah. You're really happy that they delayed Shadowlands? Yeah. I would not say I'm perfect. Especially not for working on God of War. No, I didn't see the Thousand Cities. I don't even know what that one... Angel actually wasn't that bad because it was a little indie art house film. That was the black and white one, right? Yeah, I thought that one was... I have liked a good chunk of his movies and enjoyed them, but there was... I know what I'm getting into with it. But, when you write and direct something like Leon, you can coast on that for a long time. You got my permission. I haven't done any shit like that. You better believe when I put out my Leon, whatever it may be, I'm going to be riding that bitch for so long. I'll be like hanging out at the award parties like, yeah. What's up? You know who I am. Dating Mila Jovovich and all that. Yes. Actually, I don't want to... I want to do this on a new layer because I want to blend it. And I'm lazy. I'm going to take this highlight into the peck, which is a common visual that we see. Need to kind of get the obliques out. They're an important muscle. And on the skinny guy, we wouldn't see them at all. They would be almost non-existent. They get sunken into that sort of bowl of the pelvis, and it's barely visible. You love the Fifth Element so much, yeah. New boat. Well, let me ask you this. Have you seen the teasers for Monster Hunter, the movie? Let me tell you about crying inside, my friends. Oh, man. Oh, why? 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 It looks awful. Like, just. You know, I watched the first Resident Evil, and I think I saw part of the second in a hotel at some point, but yeah, I can't do it. I just can't. They're so bad. I feel bad because so many like amazing artists are involved in these projects. You know, when you're on the production side, it's so much harder to just talk shit because you know what goes into it. But at the same time, what the fuck? Come on, gang. That ain't right. You refuse to watch most video games to movie adaptations because of Super Mario? There's been. Yeah, no, that's fair. The Witcher was pretty good. Come on. Well, I guess that was technically a book to video game to movie adaptation. You saw a comment about it somewhere that said it has as much in common with the game as Battleship did. Hey, there's trucks and machine guns, so no, that totally makes sense. My music died, and that makes my heart sad, so we're gonna remedy that real quick. I wonder if my headset died. It was a TV series, which was, Battleship was a TV series? You love Super Mario? Seriously, Cypher? That's impressive. Well, I do love Bob Hoskins. Witcher was a TV series? I mean, it was on Netflix. That one? Yeah, I saw that. I didn't know that it was a movie as well. I'm trying to think that there was a game to film not too long ago, and I'm trying to remember what it was, and I remember that wasn't bad. I'll have to think about that. So because he's got a chunkier, blockier muscle to him now, I have to kind of fill out and change the angles of some of these shapes. Ah, I see. Yeah, The Witcher isn't a movie, I don't think. Saints Row movie? Could be interesting. And now that we're actually, we could probably go back to what I had before. Yeah, that's a little closer to. The chonk I need. I already did all the work, so why not just use it? Why not? Hmm. These things must be dead. Actually, that's pretty good timing because we've actually overrun just a little bit. Oh, you lot have been talking. I keep allowing dildo, but for some reason. The Dungeons and Dragons movie was great. Not just a big purple dildo, but like a big purple dildo sword. Wasn't it? Didn't it have like a massive handle? That was a crazy. My favorite thing was that damn dubstep gun. That was hilarious. I had lots of laughs with that. Anyway, let's flip this real quick. I think we've got a good spot to pause and we can pick it up in the next show. Should be fun. Inamical, welcome and thank you for the follow. It was called the Penetrator. Oh yeah, no, I'm definitely getting booted for sure. This is going to be the shortest lived channel in history. Well, it has been awesome, gang. I always enjoy hanging out. That was a lot of fun. It was good painting and getting some art direction. Hopefully you enjoyed yourselves, had a good time. And we will catch you tomorrow at the same time. That would be 3 p.m. Pacific Standard. We also are on Thursdays at noon Pacific Standard. All of this stuff is backed up on YouTube, so you can catch it on YouTube and all that good stuff. So, what are you guys saying here? Is Medrano no more channel? Yeah. What should we have? What should we do with this? Wait, you're talking about the prop? You know that prop is going home with somebody. Doesn't matter. Anyway, take it easy, gang. As always, paint smart, paint sexy. I'm Izzy, a professional writer, concept artist, and illustrator. I've taught painting for a dozen years or so, on and offline. Many of your favorite illustrators and designers have studied with me or under me and have gone on to teach in their own right. You're here because, like they did, you want to learn to paint realistically for illustration or concept art. Well, worry not. You're in the right place. Grab a seat. I want you to join me as I explain all the aspects of image making in extremely digestible and clear monthly lessons. Not through the lens of silly how to paint hair or eye demos. That shit is carnival tricks. And you're not really learning anything except an exact way to render one thing in one manner. This is painting mysticism at its worst. Watching these kinds of exploitative lessons won't help you level up with your understanding. Sure, now you can paint sparkly hair, but what if you want to paint a dragon, or figure out how to render a sea of fire, or depict a one-eyed transgender space marine dying in the vacuum of space? Painting and image making are tools of communication, and can be learned by anyone willing to put in some time. Like grammar is for language, light, color, and form literally follow a formula. Painting well is not a matter of chicken bones, zombie crackers, and the ever-dismissive concept of talent. Learning with my series, Izzy's Logic of Light and Color, will give you the tools and understanding so you can analyze light and form in reality and bring it to life in your work. Using this simple system I have distilled will help you harness your art to share your ideas as you've always intended. When we are children, we all draw in symbols. Symbols for our house, our hands, the sun, the grass, our pet lobster. As we grow into artists, we must learn to throw away symbols and begin to draw and paint what it is we actually see. And as we grow further, we learn to paint beyond what we see and what is actually there. Until finally we move beyond this and learn to trim away what is actually there so we voice only what we want. With me, you're going to have to buckle in and maybe take some pain meds, because I'm going to rip out your normal person's eyes and replace them with a painter's eyes. I'm going to restructure how you see and how you understand what you're seeing. I'm going to turn you into a painting machine. Truly, anyone can learn to paint realistically if they can both determine what they're seeing or imagining with basic and straightforward rules. Once you understand the mechanics of light, color, and form in reality,
you will have the capacity to paint anything you can see or imagine realistically. After that, the real fun begins. Here are some of the ways you can join me and master the logic of light and color. The very first lesson of my series is totally free on my YouTube channel. In that lesson, I give you the 3 primary rules of light that are the very foundation of painting and understanding light itself. If you do nothing else to make your painting mastery easier, at least watch this amazing little lesson. It will do more for your basic understanding of light than just about any tutorial you can find. When you're ready to get deeper and you feel like you have those first rules figured out, allow me to utterly blow your mind with the next episodes available on Gumroad and ArtStation. As we go deeper into the rules underlying the logic of light and color, I carefully and simply explain important and interesting elements. From beginner to pro, there is an amazing amount of information available. Each concept has been distilled into the clearest explanation you're likely to find anywhere. Like episode 2, where we cover the atmospheric effect and how that relates to light, scale, and distance of objects in reality, and how to render it. Or episode 3, where I hand over the ultimate key to controlling value in your paintings. Episodes 5 through 8 are all about rendering materials. Want to understand the logic behind rendering metal, leather, hair, transparency, damn near anything. I even cover the logic behind painting special effects like fire, neon, or lightsabers in later episodes. The lessons just get deeper and more detailed as I build on the foundations covered in preceding episodes. The 10th gives you the most important rule of composition you'll ever learn to keep your images interesting. The next few episodes cover important painting techniques like my edge control ninjutsu or simplification with the large to small system. We dip a toe in color theory, devote a few episodes to finishing full-blown illustrations utilizing the techniques we've learned so far. Some episodes, like the lighting game or Advanced Exercises 1, the shirt, present cheap, valuable, and practical exercises to give you explosive growth in your development. Episodes 22 through 25 cover painting and illustration, just like I do for Magic the Gathering, from assignment and inception to signing the painting at the end. Each one is full of tips, knowledge, everything to make working as an illustrator easier. Did you enjoy learning how to paint basic materials? Metal, wood, and such? I got 3 whole episodes devoted to the intricate logic behind painting different kinds of skin. After that, more lessons devoted to pumping life into your portraits and original methods for accurately drawing faces out of your head. From fundamentals to photo bashing, Gumroad and ArtStation have every lesson I create available for purchase a la carte. But here's an even better way to learn with me. Stay current with my latest lessons on Patreon for the lowest price available. Monthly support gets my student that month's lesson, a critique or paint over of their finished work, a discount code for 25% off the entire Gumroad archive, and access to the Logic of Light and Color Discord community, where we plan future lessons, share knowledge, and learn together as a team. The absolute best method is to join my Patreon classroom at the Student Plus tier, where you'll get everything I just mentioned and a free episode from the archive every month to accelerate your mastery at your own pace. You've decided to take control of your painting and master Izzy's logic of light and color. Now it's up to you to choose the path that's best for you. I'll see you on the flip side. Paint smart, paint sexy.
Okay.